All right, hey, shalom, shalom. Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise unto our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations and blessings to the hopeful elect that is scattered throughout the four winds of the earth. All right, who are in hope of mercy and salvation during the time of Jacob's trouble, which is fastly approaching upon us, as well as when Yahweh Shai returns to the planet Earth. All right, the said 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel, who will be the government body, the 144,000, all right, the government body to establish the kingdom of heaven on the planet Earth under Yahweh Shai's rule, all right? This is the reign that it speaks about in Revelation, that we shall reign with our Lord 1,000 years. All right. I listened to this whole speech. All right. Not just listen to DJT, Nero. Not only did I listen to Nero, but I did listen to Pete Hegseth as well. And as Pete said, and I think that's what I'm going to entitle this video, Welcome to the Department of War. All right. In the beginning of his speech, speaking to these generals, I believe that's how he put it. Welcome to the Department of War. All right. And what we're witnessing is that they're getting ready to come after the said 12 tribes. And they're doing it in a very subtle manner. All right. There will be a civil war. All right. War is brewing. And it's going to be here in the U.S. All right. The scriptures speak about one people standing up to fight against another with swords in their hands. And we see it getting ready to play out. All right. The Lord is showing us that 2nd Ezra 15, 2nd Ezra 16 is getting ready to come to pass, and it's getting ready to come to pass in a major way, right along with other scriptures. All right. Welcome to the Department of War. This is what these devils are saying on national TV in front of the entire U.S. as well as in front of the entire world. All right. Now, when you listen to the whole thing, which I listened to it, Pete, he was speaking on, toughening up the military and no more beardos, as he called them. He said no more shaving, no more wearing a beard. He said if you want to wear a beard, join special forces. He's speaking about dudes in dresses no longer. No more DEI, no more basically curving the standard for military men. All right. They're basically trying to toughen their military might back up, and show the show of force. All right. Show that they are that beast in Revelation, the 13th chapter, who had horns like a lamb, but spake as a dragon. And this is what we're witnessing. Okay. We're witnessing, had the two horns like a lamb, but he's speaking as a dragon right now. All right. And that's what the U.S. is right now. The Democrats and the Republicans are the two horns. All right. But they're speaking as a dragon. All right. And they getting ready to make their move. All right, everything we've been warning about. Matter of fact, let me get that in Revelation 13. Because this is definitely what they're doing. They're speaking as a dragon. Let me see, 2 horns. Yeah, 13 and 11. And this is the reincarnated beast, the beast that came and was came back after it was wounded unto death, which is this time now that we're speaking of. All right. Now, ultimately, the entire beast is NATO and the EU. All right. But you got the beast within the beast. All right. The tip of the spear, which is Babylon the Great, a.k.a. the U.S. of A. This is Revelation 13 and 11. It says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had 2 horns like a lamb. And he spake as a dragon. All right. This is talking about the U.S. of A. All right. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him. You got the Senate. You got the Democrats, the Republicans. All right. In Rome, you had the damn. I always forget these two. The plebeians. Forgive me. You know, I'm. Damn. What's the? Damn, I'm gonna have to look it up. Salakia. Let me look that up. Ancient Rome political parties. Salakia. Let me see. We finna get it because this is your modern. There it is. The patricians and the plebeians. The patricians and the plebeians, right? This is your modern day Babylon beast, which is Babylon the Great, all right? That exercises all the power of the first beast, all right? Which is your Democrats, your Republicans, all right? Okay? And this is Babylon, all right? This is America. This is what they're doing. They're showing you in front of the earth, in front of the entire earth, what they're getting ready to do, all right? Now, the main thing I wanted from the video that I'm going to play is how Nero states that all these people came over here and there's a war within, all right? But he didn't mention the people that came from China. He didn't mention the people that came from the Arab world. He only mentioned people that came from Congo and so-called Latin America, all right? Which represents, he's hinting at the people we finna go to war with. And everybody else in the midst of it, you're just gonna be casualties of this war, all right? Because the main focus is the Israelites. And like Elder Malcolm has said in his video, they can't outright say that we're trying to put a stop or stop these street preaching doomsday prophets or what have you, whatever they want to call this, the BHI, whatever. because it'll bring more notoriety to the message that we have, all right, especially in these times. So, like I said in the beginning, they're doing this thing at a subtle, in a subtle manner, all right. But the main point is to stop the mouths of the prophets, all right. So let me read this again, Revelation 13, 11, and 12. It says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." And we're getting ready to see the speaking as a dragon, okay? "And he exercised of all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed." And this is what Babylon did. As a matter of fact, Pete's speech, he mentioned Rome, all right? Going back to the memorial that they had, going back with this dude, Captain Kirk, Stephen Miller mentioned Rome, okay? So they know that they are that reincarnated Rome, all right? They know that they're the fourth beast, okay? So let's go back to that video, Salakia, and let's listen to what DJT says here, or Nero. Let's check Nero out. Back it up 10 seconds.
That's what it is. Only in recent decades did politicians somehow come to believe that our job is to police the far reaches of Kenya and Somalia, while America is under invasion from within. We're under invasion from within.
Under invasion from within. And this is what they had Sleepy Joe in the office for them 4 years. So they can paint this narrative that they've painted. Geniusly wicked, all right? It's an evil, genius-ass plan that they did, all right? And they very calculated. They allowed the country to go to shit. They allowed the smash and grabs. They allowed the border to stay open. And the only people that they showed coming through the border were Israelites, okay? Those are the people that they only showed on mainstream media. When it came to them the China man and them Arab man, all right, they ain't showed them as much. They only showed that one dude from Iran, that said, "You will know me soon." But why DJT ain't talking about him? Why is he only mentioning the tribes? Okay.
No different than a foreign enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms. At least when they're wearing a uniform, you can take them out. These people don't have uniforms. But we are under invasion from within. We're stopping it very quickly. After spending trillions of dollars defending the borders of foreign countries, with your help, we're defending the borders of our country from now on. We're not going to let this happen. Biden let people come in from prisons, mental institutions, drug dealers, murderers. You know, we had 11,488 murders allowed into our country by this guy who had no clue.
Coming from the biggest murderer on the planet. And I ain't talking about Nero himself. I'm talking about the Edomite race. All right? So what you see Nero doing now is exactly what he did in the ancient world. He blamed everything on the so-called Christians at the time. All right? Which the Christians were the Israelites. All right? He blamed the burning down of Rome and the chaos on the Israelites at the time. So what is he doing now? The same exact thing. Okay?
No clue. He shouldn't have been there in the first place, but he had no clue. The people that ran the office, the White House, were people that surrounded him, radical left lunatics that are brilliant people, but dumb as hell when it came to policy and common sense. And they allowed people from all over the world, from the Congo. They opened up prisons in the Congo. They came into our country totally unmatched, unvetted, unchecked. And from all over South America, not just South America. You know, you think South America, no, but from all over. A lot came in from Venezuela. Venezuela emptied its prison population into our country. That's why they have Tren de Aragua, one of the worst gangs ever. But we took care of them. We took good, strong care of them. And I just want to thank the National Guard in Washington, D.C. It's embarrassing to say this. Now I can say it because we solved it. But Washington, D.C. was the most unsafe, most dangerous city in the United States of America. And to a large extent, beyond. And beyond that. You go to Afghanistan, they didn't have anything like that. You go to countries that you would think there's problems, they didn't have that. And now Washington, D.C., after 12 days of serious intensity, we took out 1,700 career criminals. If you have 5 career criminals, they can make your numbers look very bad because they'll commit many crimes a day. But we took out 1,700, and they took them out. There was no doubt who the boss was. They did an unbelievable job. Then they started even cleaning. I said, I don't want them doing that, sir. They were cleaning it up. I drove through it 2 days ago. It was beautiful. People are walking down the street holding hands, man and wife, coming from Iowa. They're not worried about being shot. Washington, D.C. is now a safe city. In fact, I went out to dinner with my crew. I haven't done that. In theory, I wouldn't do it. And I felt totally safe. And nobody's been attacked. Nobody's been hurt. Washington, D.C. went from our most unsafe city to just about our safest city in a period of a month. We had it under control in 12 days, but give us another 15, 16 days. It's perfect. And people other than politicians that look bad, they think, the Democrats run most of the cities that are in bad shape. We have many cities in great shape too, by the way. I want you to know that. But it seems that the ones that are run by the radical left Democrats, what they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places. And we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war too. It's a war from within. Controlling the physical territory of our border is essential to national security. We can't let these people in. We had no people enter in the last 4 months. 0. Even I can't believe that. We had millions coming in, pouring in. 25 million all told. And of those 25 million, many of them should never be in our country. They would take their worst people and their people from prisons and jail, and they'd put them in a caravan and they'd walk up. CNN was interviewing one person. Oh, why are you coming? I want freedom. Good. Were you in jail? Yes. For what? Murder. I said, you had to see this anchor, a young woman. She's like, I couldn't believe it. She'll probably lose her job.
I mean, he's saying exactly what they getting ready to do, man. All right? He mentioned certain cities, which we know these cities are predominantly Israelite populated. All right, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. All right, the true Israelites. He mentioned those cities. He mentioned, I believe, when you listen he speaks about going into Chicago. He said, we gonna go into Chicago. All right. So they getting ready to come at the tribes, man. And if anybody get in their way, all right, because when you listen to this whole thing, him speaking about the war here, the enemy from within, the domestic TERR, all right, he says that they're gonna basically have the green light. All right, and like we've been saying, man, we've been warning of these things to come. All right, and the bangers are gonna start coming out. When I say bangers, I'm talking about them guns. All right, and not only from the tribes, but you're gonna have resistance from these Edomites. All right, these Edomites that's going war against their own government. All right, so this is finna be a whole war zone, as the scriptures describe it as. All right, a time like there has never been. Okay, I don't want to make this too long because I know they're getting ready to come tell me that they done unload me. So let me grab a couple more scriptures. Let's go back to Revelation 11. All right. Now, back in the ancient Roman Empire, they did put a lot of us to death. Put us to death. All right. Because they made war against us. All right. Because of what? Even back then in ancient Rome, you had the camps out there. All right. That's what the whole book of Acts is about. Okay. And when they shall, and when the they is talking about the witnesses, the prophets. All right. When you read up the two olive branches. All right. Both the northern and the southern kingdom this represents. But then on a deeper level, Moses and Elijah. Okay. But let's read this. Verse 7, it says, and when they shall have finished their testimony, right? Because pretty soon the Lord gonna shut this up. He gonna shut the the prophets' mouths. He gonna hide us. All right. And when they shall finish, and when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them. Right. And that's what happened to us. All right. Not only did it happen to us back then, it happened to us in this time as well. All right. The beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit represent Esau, Edom during the Renaissance. Okay. And they overcame us and killed us. And then our dead bodies, right? We went into slavery. All right. And they had us. Shit, 2/3 of our people are still in that dead state. Okay? It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Right. So the point is that they made war against us. All right? And let's go to the 12th chapter. In the 17th verse, they're going to make war again. All right? Revelation 12 and 17. All right? Now, this is this day and age as we speak. Okay? And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, the prophets, the elect. All right, which keep the commandments of the Most High. See, we didn't keep the commandments of the Most High. When we were put in that dead state. All right, but now that we've returned, now we're keeping the commandments to the best of our ability. We're calling on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. All right, and this is what they truly have a problem with. All right, where the elect is waking up. All right, you know how many Israelites know that they Israelites? I seen a video of I don't know if you brothers out there know that dude Sneeko. Actually, one of these Jakes that I used to play ball with, he actually texted me this, and he question marked it when he texted to me. And I listened to a little young dude with dreads that know he an Israelite, but his doctrine way off. Using two names. He used the true name, and then he used the other names, and he with that Yah shit and Yahusha and all that, But it's too many Israelites that know that they are Israelites. Hold on. You about good?
Yeah, you're all set.
All right. Hey, I'm coming back.
Yeah, every day.
All right, bro.
So this is for the trailer swap, but in case they give you any trouble, they're gonna end up giving you the exact same thing when you get there, but we just don't want them giving you any trouble since you're newer.
All right, cool.
So
all right, man.
Go grab that and then
come back, right?
Yeah. We'll
cool.
try to get you out of here quick, but
all right, man. Salakia. Damn. I knew they was gonna do that, man. Bear with me a second. I'll be right back. Yeah, Salakia, I'm back. Salakia for that, man. Yeah, Satan sure do know how to try to come through and spoil your day of atonement too. You know. But anyway, like I was saying, it's too many Israelites that know that they're the Israelites. All right. So this devil was getting ready to wage war, like we just read here in Revelation 12 and 17, which we're gonna read again, right? Because it's all about stopping the prophets from pushing this message. All right. And ultimately the Most High is gonna stop us from pushing this message. And we see that we're getting closer by the way the Heavenly Father has Esau moving. All right. He about to shut things down, and it's gonna be war. All right. 2nd Ezra 15, 2nd Ezra 16. All right. Welcome to the Department of War. And they not bullshitting when they say that. Okay. So again, reading, it says, Revelation 12 and 17, and the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High, and have the testimony. All right? We have the testimony of Yahushua Hamashiach. And this is the problem. All right? As long as we calling ourselves Africans, Kemet, Egyptian, niggas, they'll let us be and just put chips right up in our asses. But now that we calling on our true nationality, all right, or I'm sorry, now that we're calling on our true power, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten son, Yahushua, and we're clinging on to our true nationality, they got to put a stop to it, because they know the prophecy. All right. They know and understand that once we return to our power, there's nothing they can do against us. And you can find that in Judith, the 5th chapter. All right. You can find that also, in the book of Numbers 23 and 24. All right. They know that they're getting ready to go into captivity. So they're going to try everything they can to stop it. All right. But it ain't going to work. Okay. We're getting ready to see these scriptures fulfilled. Let's get that real quick. In 2nd Ezra 15. So let me do this. Okay. Because they gonna make war, and these Edomites, they gonna go to war with their government. And in the midst of it, a lot of you jakes are getting ready to be destroyed out here, man. Okay. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And your modern day swords are your weapons. They're different, as they call them, firearms. Some call them arms. All right, your guns. All right, that'll be your modern day weapon. All right, DJT is in this video. He's letting you know. All right, he's letting you know that we coming to Chicago, we coming to LA. All these Democratic ran parties out here will be gotten. All right, they will be gotten in the military, and those of the military that don't want, they're gonna be waging war against them as well. So it's gonna be a whole pot full of destruction, man. All right, and death. Let's go to the book of Daniel. Okay. Because it's going to be a time like there's never been. Trust and believe that. And we see it, man. We see it clear as day. All right? A lot of you Israelites that know that you Israelites, you don't see it. All right? Because you weren't given the testimony of Yahweh Shah. You just know that you're an Israelite. That's it. But you don't see the grave dangers that's coming for your ass. All right? You have no clue about what's getting ready to happen, man. All right? Daniel 12:1, and at that time shall Michael stand up. That's how bad it's going to be. The Lord's going to have to send Michael out here. Okay? A real angel. Okay? And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And that's talking about the elect and the elect only. Not all Israelites are going to be protected. Okay? Only the elect. Okay? And there shall be a time of trouble. And we see it coming. You see everybody online nervous. You know? You had, I mentioned General Gehenna. He showed his face. You know, he showed his face not too long ago, after months and months of not showing his face. Why is he showing his face? Because he goes back to the old school and he knows the prophecies, but he chose to ignore and took a bag. So now all of a sudden he's showing his face. Now all of a sudden IUIC they seeing the MOTB. Not on the whole, but they making little hints and gestures. Okay, they see the RFID micro C-hip is the MOTB. When we've been screaming it at the top of the mountaintop for years, the apostles and elders for years, decades, all right? Screaming it at the mountaintop, and now it's here, all right? But only the elect will be protected in these times, man. So reading it again from the top, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. So that's how bad it's going to be. You can't compare no time in history to what's getting ready to take place around the world, and mainly here in Babylon the Great. All right. It says, and at that time thy people shall be delivered. Again, the elect. Everyone that shall be found written in the book. And then the last scripture I'm going to read is here in Jeremiah 30:7, which, you know, we a broken record, and so what? All right. Because these are the times we're living in. Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. All right? All the tribes. But he shall be saved out of it. The he that's going to be saved, once again, is the elect. All right? The elect are the ones that's going to be saved up out of this thing. And the elect only, man. All right? So I'm gonna cut it there, man. Lord will So I don't like doing these shows when I'm out rolling because I like to be comfortable and, you know. But hey, we ain't in the time of comfort, man. I gotta get some shows up, man. You know what I'm saying? So fuck that. Through the spirit, man, you know. Salaki if I was all over the place a little bit. And Lord will, we'll be back later on this evening or today. Hey, call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai for bringing these prophecies to pass and speeding this thing up. And Lord will, he keeps us all protected and shielded in these trying times. Shalom.